Okay. It's talking to me, Zoom today. So we will start from a comfortable seat. So for some of us, that might be legs crossed. That could be comfortable. It might be comfortable to sit on a cushion or a pillow if you have anything like that as well to help elevate through the hips. Or blocks sometimes can be comfortable as well. Sometimes putting them in the shape of a V can also be supportive for the low back and the hips too. And then if you're lying down, whatever posture is going to make you feel the most supported and comfortable this morning. So knees can be bent, legs can be long, whatever is going to help you settle into your practice today. So once you've found your comfortable seat, let's take a few moments to arrive into your body this morning. Notice any areas that you may still be holding or clenching. Can you try to soften those down? Taking particular note of the shoulders. Have they crept up to the ears? Can you soften them down the body? Taking note of the hands. Where have they instinctually fallen? Maybe onto the knees, maybe onto the earth beside you. Notice if you're holding any tension through your fingertips. Can you maybe give those fingers a little gentle wiggle and then just allow them to soften? Maybe there's a gentle curl. Moving down in through the hips, can you soften those hips so that the legs move a little bit closer towards the earth? Sometimes you really tense in and we hold that tension in through the hips and then our knees start to rise up off of the mat. Can you take a nice full breath in? And then as you exhale, soften through those hips and see if you can release a little bit more through your legs as well. Is there any tension through the toes, through the feet, maybe giving them a little bit of a wiggle and then allowing them to relax? As you continue to settle into your practice, settle onto your mat this morning, I would invite you to bring to mind any particular areas of the body, any mantra, any intention that helps you feel grounded to your mat, grounded to your practice. So if we think physically, sometimes we think of the areas that are specifically making connection to the mat. So it could be right now our hips, maybe our hands, depending on where they fell. I'm just feeling that root and connection. And doing the same emotionally or mentally. Is there any mantra or saying that really helps you to ground yourself to your practice, to really help yourself to be present and here on your mat? Maybe something as simple as, I am here, I am present, my mat is my home. Whatever maybe resonates with you, and inviting this to come with you through your practice, whether you choose the physical anchor or the mantra or the intention to help ground yourself back to your practice this morning. If you find that your mind begins to wander, just helping to draw yourself back to your mat. So once you have an anchor in mind, something that you're going to use to help bring yourself back to your practice today, if you wish, you can join me by placing your right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. And taking a few full breaths into that space to start. So feeling that expansion through the belly as you inhale and that release as you exhale. And then I'll invite you here to take 5 full breaths, bringing that anchor to mind. What is going to ground you to your mat this morning? What is going to draw you back if you find your mind wandering? Or if other things pop into your head? So bringing that to mind now and taking the next 5 breaths. Nice and full. Really anchoring yourself to what you've chosen for yourself this morning. Beautiful. And then after that next exhale, you can allow the hands to return to wherever they were before. Starting to slowly bring some movement back into your body. So maybe some wiggles through the fingers, gentle rocks from side to side. Maybe slowly inviting those eyes to open if they were closed. And then if you did find yourself lying down this morning, I would invite you to come and meet us into a comfortable seat as we continue to move into our bodies a little bit more deeply. So from that seat, let's start to make circles with the body. So I'll invite you to drop that left shoulder forward first. Circle the body through center and then have that right shoulder come in front and then circle yourself all the way back up. Good, nice full body circles. If it helps give you a little bit more space, you can bring the fingertips out to the side. You can even walk those fingertips forward with you. But really try to get into that shoulder. So leaning forward and then back. Good, we'll move through one more full rotation in this direction. And then before you switch, I would invite you, if your legs are crossed, to switch so that the opposite foot is in front. You've already spent a decent amount of time with that leg in front. And then let's start with that right shoulder coming forward. So the right shoulder drops forward and then you circle that body around and up. And then start to get creative with it. Play with what feels good for your body. The hands can come to the knees. Good, beautiful. We'll move through 2 more rotations. Good, and then draw yourself back up through the center. Bring the fingertips down to the side. Take a nice full breath in. Reach up, look up with those fingertips. Almost feel like someone's gently pulling those fingertips up towards the sky, feeling that stretch through the lats, the side body. Nice full breath in, maybe draw that gaze up. Good, on that exhale, bring the right hand down towards the right side. Anchor it down and then reach those left fingertips over towards the right side. Check in with that left hip. Can you keep it grounded into the mat, into the block, into whatever you may have underneath those hip bones, and really reach and lengthen through that left arm. See if you can send that left shoulder back and bring that gaze up towards the left elbow. Nice full breath in through the nose. Good, and exhale through the mouth or nose. Good, one more full breath in. Really feel that stretch through the left side body. Good, and then on your exhale, lower that left hand down towards the left side and come directly into that side bend on the opposite side. So reach, extend those right fingertips up and over. Again, notice yourself getting heavy through that right hip. Allow it to sink down towards the mat. Good, send that right shoulder back and open up through the right side of the chest. 2 full breaths. Good, after that next exhale, bring everything back through to center. Fingertips on either side, tuck that chin towards the chest. Let's take a moment to rock that chin from one shoulder to the other. Give a little bit of love for that neck. Right ear towards right shoulder, left ear towards left shoulder. If it feels okay for the neck and you want to begin to make full circles by tipping that head gently back and sending that chin forward, you're welcome to do that as well. Just a few more rotations here in one direction. Good. And the next time you come to the center, switch, move in the opposite way. Beautiful. Come back through the center. If you had any blocks or a cushion underneath the hips, just scooch them off to the side for later. We'll bring the feet out in front, the hands beside the hips, fingertips pointing towards the heels. Push the feet into the mat, the hands into the mat. Start by opening up through that chest, shoulder blades draw together behind the back body. Nice opening, draw that chin towards the chest. Take a full breath in. Good, full breath out. Good, on that next breath in, push in through the feet, in through the hands, lift those hips off of the mat, draw those knees forward, come into your reverse tabletop. So push out through the feet, lengthen through the arms, start to squeeze through the glutes as you lift those hips up. Good, maybe that gaze stays forward in between the knees, or maybe you gently draw that gaze up towards the sky. If that feels comfortable for the neck, take 2 full breaths. Really start to feel that engagement beneath the feet and the hands, push up. Good, and then engage through those glutes to help keep those hips lifted. Beautiful, one more full breath in. Good, and out, bend through the elbows, lower those hips down, and then bring those hands around the knees. Come into a little ball, tuck the chin towards the chest. Beautiful. Let's bring those feet over to one side, coming into our tabletop position. Take a moment in your tabletop to really find that root, that stability beneath the hands. Feet can be tucked or untucked. Find some gentle sways from side to side. And then let's start to move through our cat-cow. So we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Good, let's exhale, round, tuck the chin towards the chest, push that mat away, find that space behind the shoulders. Good. Continue to move through your cat-cow. I know this is a familiar movement for most of us, for pretty much all of us actually. So get creative with it. Whatever feels good for you this morning, make it yours. Good, one more full round and we'll meet back in our tabletop. Good, from here let's tuck those toes, walk those hands slightly more forward, and then send our hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. Now, if downward facing dog isn't in your practice this morning, not a problem. You can stay onto your hands and your knees, or you can even come into your child's pose. So whichever posture you've chosen, I would invite you to bring in some movement. So sways from side to side. If you're in down dog, bending one knee and then the other. So finding that length, that stretch through your calves. Really pushing into the pads of your fingers, your thumb, to help alleviate that pressure onto the wrists. From the wrists, sorry. Good, and then if you're in your down dog, let's come into our tippy toes. And then exhale, send those heels down towards the mat. No need for them to touch. Just that focus of sending them down. Good, one more. Inhale, lift those toes or lift those heels. And then exhale, push them down into the mat. Good, from wherever you are, take a nice bend through the knees and then draw that gaze towards the hands. Take as many steps as you need this morning to bring yourself up to your mat, coming into your forward folds. Nice bend through the knees, rest the belly onto the chest. Sorry, belly onto the knees. My words are all messed up this morning. Good, from our forward fold, let's take an inhale to our halfway lift, hands to shins, draw that gaze forward, shoulder blades down and come together behind the body, nice long spine. Good, exhale, fold. Good, this time when we inhale, we're gonna slowly root to rise. We're gonna try to articulate each vertebrae as we roll ourselves up. So move really, really slow. It's like it's a competition and whoever's last is the winner. The winner, they win the spine articulation award for their body. Nice and slow, allow that head to be the very last thing that comes forward. And then find that reach, lift through the arms, and draw everything down through your heart center. Take a moment in your Tadasana. In your Tadasana, I would invite you to draw back the mind to your anchor. What did you choose this morning that's going to remind you, that's going to invite you to come back to your mat? If it's a physical area of the body, bring that back to your mind now. If it was an intention, maybe repeating it a few times to yourself. Take a few breaths here to re-ground yourself to your mat. Beautiful. After your next breath in, take a nice full breath in through the nose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, you're going to sink those hips back into your chair. So from your chair, you may want to widen the stance a little bit more. Sometimes it can help keep with that stability. And then sink those hips back down like you're sitting into a chair, the weight coming into the heels. Arms can be forward, arms can be at heart center. Starting to feel that engagement through the glutes, like you're actively drawing the knees together, almost like you have a block or something in between. Good, take a nice full breath in your chair, full breath in. Good, full breath out, see if you can sink a little bit more. Good, one more full breath in. Good, full breath out. Good, last one, full breath in. Good, on that full breath out, lengthen, lower yourself down to that forward fold. Good, find your halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, come back down to your fold, plant those hands. Step one foot back, then the other, come into your plank. Plank from the toes, plank from the knees. This is our first plank. Let's take a few moments to just settle ourselves in here. So pushing out to the hands, feeling a gentle puff up through the shoulders, pulling, reaching back with the heels, engaging through your abdominals, almost like you're cinching everything towards the midline, through the center. You would do the same thing if you're on your knees. Good, take one more full breath in your plank. Good, and then let's all lower down to the knees. When we exhale, we're gonna bend through the elbows, lower the chest down onto the mat. Let's come into our baby cobra, tops the feet to the mat, plant those hands behind the chest, bend through the elbows, gently lift up, baby cobra. Open up that chest. See how it feels to engage through the glutes. Good, take a full breath. Good, exhale, lower that belly, that chest back down to the mat. Tuck those toes, plant those hands beside the chest. Lift those hips up and back to your downward facing dog, your table, or your child's. Take 2 breaths here. Stillness or movement. Good. And then from our down dog, or we can also do this from our table or our child, we're going to send that right leg up towards the sky, keeping those hips square. So we're in our 3-legged dog. Both of those hips still tracking towards the mat. Try not to open that right hip out to the side. Toes can be flexed, so pointing towards the shins. Good. Try to equally distribute those weight between both hands. Bend through that right knee. Bend through that left knee, step that right leg up in between the hands. We're gonna come into our warrior one. So take that back foot, bring it to a 45-degree angle, and then open up towards the top of your mat, both hips facing forward, and then send those arms out into your goddess arms. So beautiful warrior one here. Nice opening through that chest. Good, take a full breath in and a full breath out. Good. On your next breath in, inhale, lengthen to that front leg, reach those arms up to the sky, maybe draw the gaze with it. And then exhale, gently bend through that front knee, come back into your goddess arms. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. One more, inhale, reach up. Lengthen to that front leg. And exhale, come down. Good, take one more full breath here, really actively opening through the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together. Good, and then on that, after that next exhale, hands come to the hips, pivot back on those left toes. So you're coming into your lunge here. Take a full breath in with the arms. Good, exhale, lower the hands to frame that front right foot. Bend through that right knee, step that left foot back up to meet its partner, forward fold. Good, inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, down to our fold. Good, root to rise, roll yourself up to your standing mountain. Take your full breath in to reach the arms up. And then an exhale to bring the hands back down to your heart. Good, take 3 breaths here, bring yourself back to that grounding pose, that grounding intention. Allow that to flow with you as we move through our vinyasa on the opposite side. Good. As you're ready, eyes can open if they were closed. Nice inhale, reach up. Send those hips, sink them back down into your chair pose. Good. From your chair pose, take a full reach those fingertips forward, and then exhale, can you sink the hips a little bit more down? Good, engage through those glutes, actively drawing those knees towards one another, nice and strong, beautiful. I love the lines, awesome. Good, one more full breath in. Good, on your exhale, lower yourself down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands. Step your feet back into your plank. Again, plank from the toes, plank from the knees, your decision. If you want to move through your vinyasa on your knees, you're welcome to lower through the elbows, come through into your vinyasa, and then coming into your upwards facing pose of choice. Maybe the arms can be extended. Maybe you still have those elbows bent. Full breath in. Good, and then on your exhale, lower that chest back down to the mat. Tuck those toes, send those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, we're gonna come into our 3-legged dog. So we're going to ground through that right foot, send that left foot up towards the sky. Get hips pointing towards the mat. Good, nice bend through that left knee, bend through that right knee, step that left foot up in between the hands, pivot that right foot so it's on 45 degree and coming into your warrior one. Open up through that chest, open up through those arms. Good, and let's flow a little bit here. Inhale to lengthen through the front leg. And exhale to come down into those goddess arms. Good, move through 2 more. So nothing changes in that back leg. It's just a bend and extend through that front leg. Good, come down with that knee bent, goddess arms, full breath. Really actively draw those shoulder blades together. Good, bring the hands to the hips, pivot, that right foot back. Inhale to reach those arms up. Exhale down to frame that front foot. Bend through that left knee, step that right foot up to meet its partner, forward fold. Good, inhale to our halfway. exhale to our fold. Root to rise, draw yourself all the way up to standing. Circle, reach those arms when you arrive. And then exhale, bring everything down to your forward fold. To your Tadasana. Taking a sip of water if you wish. Good. And we'll continue to play with that Surya Namaskar B, so our sun salutation B that we just moved through there. So from your Tadasana, again, I would suggest widening the stance if that's helpful for you in chair. Take a nice full breath in. Then in your exhale, sink yourself down into your chair. Reach those arms forward and see if you can start to send those right fingertips back behind you and then back up to the sky. And then try the left and then back up. So the only thing that's changing, that's moving, is your arms. You're keeping nice and stable through that low body. It's getting a little bit more mobility in through the shoulders and through the chest. Good, we're gonna do one more reach. Beautiful. Awesome, lift those arms up towards the sky and then exhale, come down, forward fold, lengthen through the legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale to fold. Plant those hands and I'll get you to step that right foot back so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat. We're coming into our warrior two. Once you have yourself set up there in your warrior two, you can draw yourself up. Reach the left arm forward, right arm back. Let's take a moment, check in with that heel arch alignment. So heel of the front foot to the arch of the back foot, front knee drawing out towards baby toe. Good, lower the back arm, lift the front arm up, find your exalt, find that length. Good, exhale forward. Exhale to your warrior two. Gosh, my words today. Inhale, left arm up. Good, exhale, warrior two. Good, we're gonna move a bit differently this time. Inhale, left arm up. Good, and then the next time you come forward so that that left arm comes onto the left leg and you reach those right fingertips up towards the sky. Good, you can leave those right fingertips there or you can extend those right fingertips towards the front of the room. Good, coming into your side angle. Try not to really dump through that right arm. Really lift up through that chest so the weight is in the leg. You're really pushing up into the arm, not collapsing into the leg. Good, full breath. Good, engage through your abdominals. Draw yourself back up to that warrior two. Good, from here, bend into the elbows, bring the hands to the hips. Pivot everything so it's facing the long edges of your mat and the toes are slightly out, heels are slightly in. We're gonna come into some goddess squats. We're gonna bring the hands to our heart and we're gonna bend through the knees, drawing them over top of the toes, so sinking the bum down. And then pushing up through the heels, engaging through the glutes as we draw up. Good, one more together. Sink those hips down, knees over the toes, squeeze the glutes. Good, and then push up through the heels, lift up. Good, we're gonna move through four more. Take your time, your hands can stay here. You can extend your arms up instead. You can leave your arms in goddess arms. So to really focus that movement through the low body. Beautiful. Awesome. And after you've moved through your four, we'll meet back up into our standing. Let's come into our star. Reach those arms up to the sky and take a nice full breath. Good, hands come back to the hips. Pivot everything back towards the front of your mat. Bring those hands down to frame that front foot. Step that front foot back into your plank. Lower yourself through your chaturanga. Inhale to your upwards facing pose of choice. And then exhale into your downward facing dog. Your table or your child's will be here for 2 breaths. Good. When all is well and you feel ready, let's make our way to the front of our mat, stepping ourselves up into our forward fold. Finding our halfway lift. Good, and then finding that fold once more. From here, rolling yourself all the way up to your standing. Circle, lift, draw everything for center. Come back to your Tadasana. Good, let's flow through that on the opposite side. So again, widen that stance. We're coming back into that chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink those hips down. We're gonna do something a little bit different this time. So bring your hands into heart center. So from heart center, slowly begin to twist towards the left and then back through the center. Twist towards the right and then back through the center. Good. Continue with that side to side twist motion. Those hips are staying forward. You're staying into that chair. You're just moving through the upper back, mid back, into the shoulders. Good, one more on each side. Keep that low body nice and engaged. Beautiful, you got this, good job. Good, come through the center. Take a nice full breath in and push through the heels, lift up into your Tadasana. Exhale, bend through the knees, forward fold. Good, find that halfway lift. Find your fold. Plant the hands, step that left foot back this time, short edge of your mat. Come back into your warrior two. So set yourself up there, take a minute. Check in with all your little cues. Good, soften those shoulders away from the ears. Good, and can you find that anchor again? Maybe you're anchoring your feet, maybe repeating that intention to yourself. Really find it here. We've started to really move the body a little bit more quickly, a little bit more targeted work through the low body. So our mind might be talking to us. Just draw it back here. Good, from here, drop that back arm, lift the front arm up, find your exalt. Good, exhale, find that warrior two. Good, one more, lift up, exalt. Good, exhale, warrior two. Beautiful, this one we find our exalt, we lift our arm up. And then we exhale, bring the right hand to the front right leg. We reach, lift those left fingertips up towards the sky to start. Maybe we stay here in our side angle. Maybe we reach those left fingertips forward towards the front of our mat, trying to keep that left side of the chest open the whole time, like we practiced at the beginning of class when we did our side bends. Good, take your full round of breath here. Good, really push, reach out through that right foot. Engage through your glutes. Try not to collapse into that right leg with the right arm. Good job. Good, on the next exhale, draw everything back up through to your warrior two. Good, hands to your hips, pivot everything to the long edges of your mat. Toes are gonna be out, heels are gonna be in. We're back to those beautiful lotus squats. We're gonna do a little bit differently this time. Okay, so from here, we'll bring our hands to heart center and we'll sink into our goddess squats. We're going to stay into this goddess squat and move through a little bit more of a flow. I wouldn't go all the way down. You might wanna go about half or a quarter. We're gonna bring the hands behind the head so the elbows are out to the side. We're gonna really focus on those obliques, our abdominals. So from our goddess squat, we're gonna slowly lower that right elbow down and then back up through the center. Left elbow down, back up through the center. So we're slowly lowering down from one side to the other. Something to notice here, try not to allow those elbows to come together. You want those elbows to stay out to the side so that you're engaging through the backs of the shoulder blades. You're pushing out through the feet. You're engaging through your obliques. Beautiful, looks great. Good, we're gonna do two more on each side. You're almost there, looks awesome. Beautiful. Good, and then after you finished your last two, you're gonna come back through the center, lengthen through those legs. Whew, probably feels really nice. Lift those arms up to the sky. Take a full breath in your star. Good. Let's bring the hands to the hips. We're gonna pivot the toes forward so that the toes are more slightly in now than the heels. We're gonna keep the hands onto the hips, lower down into our wide leg forward fold. So lead with that chest. Lower yourself down into that wide leg forward fold. Heel toe the feet a little bit wider if that feels nice for you. And then just bring in some movement or stillness in here. Good. Slowly begin to walk your hands back towards that front foot. Good. Pivoting everything towards the front of your mat. Plant those hands, send that right foot back into your last plank, our last little opportunity for a vinyasa here. Lower yourself down through your chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing pose of choice. And then we can all come into our child's pose. The knees can come wide to the long edges of your mat. Hips can sink back towards your heels. If child's pose isn't a pose of comfort for you, please feel free to come into a different version. Maybe that's seated. So as you settle yourself down here, I really want you to imagine that you are sinking into your mat. So with each exhale, your body is getting a little bit heavier, a little bit closer towards the earth. And you are anchoring yourself down. Feeling that support, that warmth, radiating through your mat all the way into different areas of your body. Slowly begin to walk those fingertips back up towards the knees. Coming up, drawing the feet over to one side. So we're seated onto our bums. And then we'll slowly make our way down onto our backs. So using those forearms to help you, nice and slow, make your way onto your spine. You can draw those knees into the chest. Give them a nice hug, a gentle rock from side to side. Let's come into our figure four. So we'll plant that right foot down, right knee towards the sky. We'll cross that left foot over top of the right knee, just below. That left knee comes out to the side. You can take that left hand and gently push that left knee away. If you need a little bit more, you can draw that right knee in towards the chest, hooking the hands on the back of the thigh. You can find some rock from side to side here. If this is too much of a strain through the neck, like you feel like you're pulling, that chin is coming up too much towards the sky, you can pop a block, underneath your head or a pillow. Give yourself a bit more of a lift, a little bit of a less strain through the throat and through the neck. Good, so we begin to lower down that right foot so that it makes connection with the mat. Unhook the left. And let's come into the opposite side. So left foot plants, right foot hooks on top of the right knee. Again, you can gently push that right knee away. And then if you want a little bit more, draw that left knee in towards your chest. Good, slowly lower that left foot back down to the mat. Uncross the right. Good, take a moment with the knees bent, the feet planted. Take the hands to the hips. Good, and then just gently push forward, feeling a gentle arch into the low back. Good, and then releasing. Moving through any final postures your body may be looking for before you begin to settle into your Shavasana. So take a few moments to move as you feel you need to. Sometimes it can be nice to come into our supine twists or even just some rocks with the knees from side to side. You can extend the legs up towards the sky. Good, and then start to settle into your Shavasana. So wherever that may be for yourself this morning, and then before you allow the body and the mind to truly settle, to truly surrender, come back to your anchor. What grounded you to your mat during your practice? Maybe repeating that statement to yourself or drawing to mind that physical part of the body. And from here, releasing that thought, releasing that physical notion, and just allowing yourself to melt fully into the mat beneath you. Your anchor has served its purpose. Now, your time is to rest. Allowing the body and the mind to be still as you take these next few moments just for you. Gently begin to draw your awareness back to your space. Maybe placing the hands on the belly, on the heart, shoulders, and just feel your breath for a few rounds. Beginning to bring in some movement as you're ready. And then eventually rolling on to the side of your choice. And then from there, slowly helping yourself up to a comfortable seat. Good. Once you arrive there, softening those shoulders away from the ears. Taking a few final breaths to close your practice. Inhaling fully through the nose and exhaling fully through the mouth. Letting go of whatever you may still need to release. If you wish, you can join me by bringing your hands through to your heart center, maybe gently tucking the chin towards the chest. Being grateful for yourself, for your practice, for all the yoga teachers that came before us that allowed us to learn and practice in the practice of yoga. As always, this is one of the highlights of my week, of my day, and I was so happy to be able to practice with all of you on this holiday Monday. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. From my light to yours, namaste. Thanks, everyone.